Good morning, guys. Welcome to the show. Let's get started with the show. It's going to be a good Friday today. And listen, I'm not going to be on until next Monday with the next report. But let's get started. Let's get the charts open right here. And the first thing we're going to talk about is China, the Chinese economy. And this article comes from the South Chinese Morning Post. Trade war. China suffers 3-month export downturn as Donald Trump's tariffs bite. The export sector's health shows lowest reading since China-U.S. trade tension escalated in March. So China's having problems. Their export machine is quickly losing steam. This is what made China rich, was exporting, and the United States, is their biggest trading partner, and right now there's a trade war going on. What I'm worried about is that Donald Trump has an awful lot of experience in business. Tremendous amount of experience in business. He's got a tremendous amount of experience in bankruptcies and running big businesses. But the world is not the same as a big business. And the world is in an awful mess. And things could spiral out of control awful fast. Honest to God, they could. Especially when it comes to China here. I'm not so sure it's such a good idea to push China over the edge. Anyway, let's take a look here at Italy. Italy's got huge problems right now, popping up. For the second time since 2016, Italy's banking sector is making European investors nervous. Well, they should be. They should be absolutely terrified. Italy's banking sector is basically underwater, the whole thing. They're only supporting it with loans from the government, from the Italian government. They're probably running through that 20 billion that the Italian government borrowed not that long ago. It's probably mostly gone. And what's Italy going to do? I mean, these banks are a basket case in Italy. And so this is going to come back to haunt us. Meanwhile, okay, that's not the page. Yes, this is the page I want. The Turkish lira. Over the past, let's see, we're going to have to take a look here at over the past, let's try 6 months here on the Turkish lira. You see this precipitous rise in the Turkish lira? That's actually a fall because this chart works inverse. This is how many lira you can buy for $1. Well, this morning it's 6.56, and you see it's been going up and up and up. You can buy more and more lira for $1. That means the lira is worth less and less and less when compared with the dollar. And this is a big problem. There's a crisis going on right now in Turkey. Turkey's a huge economy, and their economy's basically rolling over. Now, what about Deutsche Bank? We're following that too. Deutsche Bank's 9.72. It's been roughly riding kind of steady. Let's take a look at 6 months here. Ever since it made these lows back on May 31st, it made a low of 916, and it made another low here on Thursday, June 28th of 906. The Qatarians come in and they've been helping it, and I think that there's been other people helping it. They brought the price back up to $11.19, as 11 euros, 0.19. Those are euros, sorry, not dollars. It's very close to dollars, so it's about $12, And then the prices dropped back down, and now what they've been doing is kind of been bouncing along, bottom bouncing along. They're down 1% today, mostly on the day. It doesn't really look good for Deutsche Bank. I can just see them just suddenly, this whole thing just dropping off a cliff. That's what I can say, honestly, with Deutsche Bank. So now let's take a look at some of our prices. Let's take a look at Bitcoin for the day. What we're seeing with Bitcoin is we're seeing it at $6,911. Bitcoin price right now is they're running out of bears. Basically, it's the way it's looking to me. Is the bears are still trying to command the market, but they're running out of steam. They're running out of time. And I think they're going to succeed at bringing it back down around the $6,000 price. This is what I think, and creating a buying opportunity. But let me tell you, every time we get one of these buying opportunities in Bitcoin now, it's getting more and more closer to the side where it's going to turn back up again and go back into a bull market. And so you got to take, if you like cryptocurrency and you want to invest in it, you've got to consider this. Take that into consideration. Now, cryptocurrency market capitals here. What we're looking at is $224 billion today, and Bitcoin dominance at 53.3%. Some of these coins are up quite a bit today, like EOS is up quite a bit. Now, another coin that's up huge I noticed today was Monero. Monero's up big time today, over 10% up on the day, at $108 per Monero. So now let's take a look at, let's see, the Dow should be just opening up right now. It's 10:30 my time, and that's when the Dow opens. And let me see here what we got. That's at close, down 137. Let's refresh the page. Okay, we're down 50 points on the day so far. Down 48 now. 25,938. I don't believe that there's an awful lot of buyers underneath this market to support it if it starts to lose steam. Anyway, but it's a manipulated, controlled market like an awful lot of the other markets. Let's move on to the oil today. Oil, $69.88, almost to that $70 mark, where if it just slightly crosses that $70 line, the entities that are controlling the price of oil will probably bring it back down into the 60s. Oil is being very, very tightly controlled. The silver market here is very, very tightly controlled, but they're controlling it to the downside. And this is all important to them, to keep the price of silver from exploding, because it would carry gold up with it. And if that happens, it would bust open the whole world's financial system. And this giant Ponzi scheme that they got going would be over. So $14.53 today. It says we're up 1 penny. I don't see where we're up. It looks down to me. I mean, but that's just me. But it doesn't look good to me. It looks really down. This green line here is today, you know. It just looks sick. $14.53. Believe me, I'm not going to sell many silver at those prices. Bonds and rates today. Bonds and rates. Guess what, guys? Look at this. Look at this. All the way across the board, I see twos. I see twos on 3 months and twos out to 30 years. Who in their right mind is going to buy a 30-year bond if they can get almost as much yield on a 3-month? I mean, but this is a flat yield curve. This yield curve is flattening, and it's flattening really fast. I never thought I'd see this, but it's really bond on the long end. Bonds are falling, the price of bonds are falling, and it's flattening this yield curve something wickedly. It's almost a flat yield curve. It's flattening anyway. It's not completely flat yet, but it could become even inverted. Okay, let's move on to the U.S. dollar. 94.93. We're up just a little bit so far today. We're heading up toward 95 on the U.S. dollar index. So listen, we got an awful lot of problems in the world right now. Let me tell you guys, those big problems I just mentioned, like Deutsche Bank, the Turkish lira, the trade war that's affecting China, the developing emerging market crisis that's happening right now. Honest to God, the world's a tinderbox, and we've got problems. These problems are so big that they're overshadowing things like North Korea. We're not even paying any attention to what Kim Jong-un might be doing right now and stuff like that. I mean, there's just so many problems coming at us. It's like, which one's going to be first to take down the system? Honest to God, you know. So listen, thank you guys for listening to this market report, and stay tuned Monday. I'll be back on Monday. I'm going to do some sort of a report this weekend. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't put it together yet. I'm going to look through all the news. I got to do some research, try to get some sort of a report out this weekend, and I'm going to try to make it interesting. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye, guys.